Lesson 1. Identify your most important task. Your most important task, or MIT, will depend on your goals and values. What task you can do today that will bring you closer to achieving your biggest goal. It's extremely important that you write this down, and according to Dan O'Reilly, author of Predictably Irrational, your time is best spent doing a task that requires high cognitive capacity in the first 2 hours after waking up, rather than wasting time on social media. Lesson 2. Touch it once. Many successful people take instant action on almost every task they encounter that takes less than 5 minutes. They want to expend the least possible amount of time and mental energy processing things. They use a touch it once mentality. For example, most people open their inbox, see a bunch of new messages, and immediately click each message to open and read it. Unless a reply requires only a couple of words, most people close the message to deal with it later. But they'll have to open it and read it later anyway. What a waste of time! Do what you have to do so you don't have to revisit the email message. You can use the touch it once mentality in all areas of your life. Lesson 3. Carry a notebook. Self-made millionaire Jim Rohn said, "Keeping a journal is so important. I call it one of the 3 treasures to leave behind for the next generation." Virgin founder Richard Branson said, "It may sound ridiculous, but my most important item to take with me is a little notebook in my back pocket. I think the number one thing that I take with me when I'm traveling is the notebook. I could never have built the Virgin Group into the size it is without those few bits of paper. If you have a thought but don't write it down, by the next morning it may be gone forever." Mark Twain, Thomas Jefferson, Charles Darwin, George Lucas, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, Leonardo da Vinci, and John Rockefeller all had notebooks. The idea of a notebook is to reduce stress by recording ideas and thoughts before you forget them, and to learn more about yourself by journaling. I recommend checking out 5minutejournal.com. Lesson 4. The Pareto Principle. As a general rule, 80% of results will come from 20% of the action. This is seen in many areas of life. In business, it's common that 20% of the sales reps generate 80% of total sales. 20% of customers account for 80% of total profits. Or when reading a book, if you read the first and last paragraph of each chapter, as well as the first sentence of each paragraph in between, you'll understand 80% of the message of the book. Realize that you can work less, stress less, and increase your happiness by figuring out the 20% of goals and activities that achieve 80% of the results. Lesson 5. Stop making to-do lists. Of the many successful people that Kevin Kruse interviewed for this book, he found that they don't have a to-do list but a well-kept calendar. They schedule time for their tasks. To-do lists don't distinguish between tasks that take a few minutes and items that take a few hours. So most people end up doing the quick tasks first rather than the most important tasks. They also cause unnecessary stress. Carrying around a list reminds you that you have so much to do. If you've scheduled it on your calendar, you won't have to worry. Lesson 6. Establish a morning routine. You can achieve so much with a morning routine. In less than 60 minutes, you could drink a glass of water, take a deep breath, list 3 things you're grateful for, write in your journal, review and visualize your goals, read 10 pages of a self-improvement book, exercise while listening to a podcast, and have a healthy breakfast. Kevin O'Leary, Tony Robbins, and Arnold Schwarzenegger all have morning routines. Arnold's routine is simple. He gets up every morning at 5 AM, reads the newspapers, checks his emails, works out for an hour, has a healthy breakfast, has a shower, and then goes to work. He does this all before most people are even awake. Lesson 7. Use dual monitors. If you spend lots of time on your computer like me, then I consider this a must. You can type on your word processor while reviewing internet material on the other. You won't have to constantly toggle between 2 windows. And finally, there will always be more to do. This is why it's important to stop prioritizing insignificant things so you can free up time for your family and friends without feeling guilty. Remember to prioritize what's really important, because you can always be doing more and it's easy to get lost in it all. Let's recap what we've learned. Identify your most important task, touch it once, carry a notebook, the Pareto Principle, Stop making to-do lists, establish a morning routine, use drill monitors, and there will always be more to do. Time is the most valuable asset you have, so use it wisely. Feel free to comment below and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day guys, I'll see you next time.